What is good, Cardano fam, ADA gang? We have lots of exciting updates to unpack today and some Bitcoin Maxi drama. So hit that subscribe, hit that like. The president of Argentina had a fantastic speech over in Tech Forum Argentina. And Steak with Pride, big shout out, took the time to dub it in English with generative AI. I had to listen to the entire presentation and I made a nice highlight that the president seeks to embrace blockchain and cutting edge technology with the highest standards to skyrocket Argentina's economy and freedom. Argentina already leads all of Latin America with crypto inflows surpassing $91 billion, higher than Brazil, Mexico, El Salvador, and more. Now, he didn't name drop Cardano, but I think it's around the corner, guys. What a massive collaboration that would be. We don't know what's cooking behind the scenes, the conversations behind the scenes. And he's Morgan, he is a Chad, very driven on new technology, adoption of the tech, and also free trade competition and moving with clarity and fast. So really exciting to see what will happen in Argentina in regards to Cardano and the rest of the space. Martin Lawrence responds to Bitcoin Maxi Fred Krueger, the self-proclaimed Bitcoin Maxi. That's why I use the annotations there. Ya boy cares about Cardano. Yes, of course. Martin coming through. Your boy cares about Cardano. And we see Fred, of course, we saw recently, but we have to come back to this because of Martin's reply, where it's just the classic, guys. Bitcoin Maxis right now, they're always doing ad hominem, attack of character. There's no objective take. It's ironic because here there's a big criticism of thinking in terms of decades. He's quoting Charles. But that's how Bitcoin was made too. Bitcoin was not made for a quick 1 year pump and dump. Bitcoin was thinking in multiple years cycles. So the irony is that there's a lot more in common with Bitcoin and Cardano than Bitcoin Maxis actually think. But they don't give it a chance. If they give it a chance and they go in with an open mind, I think they would be impressed with the design of Cardano and how much is actually in common. But I digress. I think it was a great reply by Martin. So shout out to Martin Lawrence. A couple of new clips that I made from Charles's presentations, the whiteboard. So Charles says, can we get fast finality in Cardano? Yes, we invented Peras. At the same time, prototyping, specification, simulation, scope of work, marketing. This is all done, guys. We even wrote a CIP, paper published in November. We're doing the same thing with Leios. So they decided to do a new approach. This time moving faster, simultaneously working on these things. And I think we're going to be getting these upgrades much sooner than we think. So Cardano has high safety, indestructible, running for over 7 years, 24/7 under constant attack, says Charles. We need new nodes, event-based architecture run as microservices like Hyperledger FireFly Supernode, which is for multiple blockchains. Now, in this presentation, in this part, he also highlighted how Silicon Valley is doing the same thing for Google, Netflix, Amazon, and ADA's advancements preserve security. Finally, he said, now we can build new nodes that can run with Leios. So, guys, we're going to be seeing Cardano enter the Supernode era, serving multiple blockchains, faster than ever, easier to set up. I think it's going to be a triple win for people who want to set up the node, the utility of the node, and following the best practices. So really exciting to see new nodes around the corner. So a big priority for 2025, IOG put this out as we look to the roadmap of where we want to go and what we want to do and how do we get to 2030 and start solving these global scale problems and getting scalability resolved and getting usability resolved is getting people in who have decades of development experience. Good stuff. A few things you can do with a DEDI GPU node. So Dedium, of course, like I say, is like the Render Junior, cloud gaming, train your AI model, run a powerful game server, Minecraft, etc. Support 3D designers for rendering, perform complex simulations or research tasks, and way more. And I'm very bullish on machine learning, on AI, guys. Daily, I'm using Copilot, Grok, Adobe Firefly, NVIDIA Video Effects SDK. So as a creator myself, definitely AI has helped me work faster, more effectively, and give inspiration. So I'm bullish on compute power. I'm bullish on AI. Hey, SNEK community, what do you think? This was a retweet by SNEK, and it kind of reminds me of like what we're seeing with poly markets and those predictive markets. So here we see Bodega Market, a new frontier for prediction markets. Will SNEK reach 1 billion ADA market cap by October 2025? And then of course the wagering, betting $50, win like $100. So good stuff. We'll take a look at this project in the future. Cardano's open source prediction market, testnet this month. So exciting stuff. Cool to see. What do you guys think about these predictive market apps? Now, before we look at price, Bitcoin dominance, and Google search with Bitcoin, Google Trends, let's see what the chief legal officer over at Ripple has to say about the SEC, because the wins by Ripple cascade to us and basically set the precedent of what's going to happen. I don't think Cardano is ever going to be a security. It's perfect the way it is, the most decentralized. Stewart says, no surprises here. Once again, it's been made clear. The court's ruling that XRP is not a security is not being appealed. That decision stands as the law of the land. So the wins by Ripple will cascade to us, lest we forget that Brad Garlinghouse, the CEO, expects a US-Centric ETF for Cardano, and we joined Ripple and XRPL Labs as final founding members in the DeRec Alliance. Finally, Stewart says, the secondary market for this ticket doesn't make it a security, just like trading crypto doesn't. Not every market is a securities market. So again, guys, echoing the same sentiment that XRP is not a security, Cardano is not a security. With the burning of Genesis keys, with the delegated wallets, with governance, I can't see any reason. There's no way that Cardano would be deemed a security, in my opinion. And I've been watching XRP meticulously since 2020. Cardano, so we've been running up a little bit. We're back up to the 3.6 levels, but I think that October, November, December won't necessarily be super bullish. I'm thinking minimum Q1, Q2 of 2025 before we send it and skyrocket and begin altcoin season. We hit a 100x with no smart contracts, so I don't see why we can't surpass the previous all-time high, given that we just were kind of going in with a lot less than what we have now. More community, more network effect, more apps. So Bitcoin dominance is important because these two blue lines, first one is the first ADA all-time high in January of 2018, and then of course end of August 2021. Both occasions, Bitcoin dominance was at a low of 37% and here about 40%. So when Bitcoin dominance goes higher and higher, the FUD increases against altcoins, and Bitcoin Maxis again join the paper hands with making fun of Cardano and many other altcoins. Once Bitcoin dominance tumbles, we'll have the green light for altcoin season. So I think that when it tumbles beneath like 50%, and it might continue to tumble in this fashion, how we saw in these moments, it's the precursor for altcoin season. Right now, Bitcoin search is still very low. It came down to 16% compared to May 2021. And mind you, before we started running in May 2021, we kind of came down a bit. We tumbled a little bit down. So maybe, just maybe, we might come down with Bitcoin global search a little bit lower before we send it. A little bit more doubt as we had here. Kind of was rising up, a little bit more doubt. And then going into the new year 3 years ago, we were sending it, 3-4 years ago, last cycle. So I think that, guys, this off-chain analytics like Google Trends can be very telling of what people are doing off-chain. What are they looking at? And clearly this tells you at the very least that the masses are not paying attention yet. And Bitcoin dominance tells us that altcoin season hasn't started, because if it did, we'd be here and we'd be here. You will have outliers. You will have exceptions to the rule like the Bonk, Pepe, Solana. But exceptions don't make the rule. There's always going to be extraordinary projects that perform a certain way. But for the general altcoins, they still have to follow this. And when you combine that with our strong narrative, speculation, brand, graphics, charismatic leadership, governance, treasury, I think that we can easily surpass a previous all-time high. I'm thinking $5 to $7 range, potentially higher. Like I said, minimum Q1, Q2 of next year. Let me know, what is your price prediction? What do you think of the Bitcoin Maxi FUD that's been going on? It's nice to see people join in and respond in a kind way. I think that if we see people FUDding paper hands, we're going to see a lot of paper hands. I think FUD hasn't been dialed up to 10 yet. It's at like 8 or 9. Let's try to be kind about it, and let's just try to foster more relations. And at the end of the day, Fred and Alex Becker and all these guys, they are letting Bitcoin, they're letting Cardano live rent-free in their head, and they're giving us marketing at the end of the day. So they're just showing their view, their colors, which is only orange. It's just ironic, because why even use Twitter? Why even go to the hardware store? Why even buy anything at all? Why even buy food? Just buy Bitcoin only, right? According to their quote-unquote logic. So it's bizarre. I think that they're always going to feel like anything other than Bitcoin is a threat to Bitcoin. But let me know what your thoughts are regarding the paper hands and the self-proclaimed Bitcoin maxis. What do you guys think? So guys, hit that subscribe, hit that like. Try to be positive during these times of the final shakeouts. And if you have any questions about the research or anything, let me know in the comments. And I'll see you in the next Angry Crypto Show.